On the patio itself, we've used a natural cleft bluestone. And the difference between thermal and natural cleft is that this is actually a sedimentary stone, and it's broken apart in layers from the quarry. So this is the natural gradation and sediment of how the stone was formed. This is all from inland seas. So you can see this little bit of texture, which just adds some great shadow and little bits of detail and a little bit of extra texture. So it's never slippery. And yet the changes around the natural cleft are so minor and so small that a chair never rocks, a table never shifts. With the thermal piece, we do that primarily so that we can keep this uniform thickness across in the porch. So this bluestone comes in different thicknesses, and we like to use material that's at least 1.5 inches thick. That makes it strong enough that we can walk on it, we can live on it. We're not going to damage the bluestone as we go along. And you can see that the pattern we've used here is termed a random pattern. So everything is cut squares and rectangles, and the crew goes through and selects the stone off the piles. You can hear the guys selecting the stone in the background now with the sound of them moving these big blocks, and are putting a pattern together that where each stone complements the next in terms of color and texture and pattern as it goes along. So this is a nice piece here. So the bluestone, we bring it in and sort it out on site. We've got piles of it here, and there's always some pieces that have an extreme natural cleft. That's not a desirable piece. We're going to get rid of that kind of stuff. We're going to sort through, pick the stones that'll have the best side, the best texture, and look at the color. So we're going to mix colors so they complement each other as we go along. So it'll be a nice detail. But you see the nice thickness of this stone. That's a strong material. It's going to create a great patio that's going to give us some super longevity. You can see that detail of the thickness just along the edge here. We build the patios onto a compacted gravel base. Underneath the patio is 8 inches of limestone road mix gravel. It's a big, heavy, coarser stone with fine particles in it. Same stuff that's out under the street. And then for the leveling course, we use limestone screenings. And the limestone screenings are 1/8 inch chip down to dust-sized particles, super sharp, super angular, tamped super hard. And then the guys are working each stone into that gravel base, setting with their mallets, working off the string lines and the levels to make sure we have proper pitch on the patio so water's flowing away from the building, and that it's a good, solid, strong application. The other paving material we chose to use was a red brick that would complement the brick of the house. This is a different type of brick than what's on the house. A face brick or a house brick does not need to be pressed and fired as hard as a paving brick does. It doesn't absorb moisture. This material can't absorb moisture, so it has to be pressed and fired. So it's a super strong, super detailed piece. This is also the messy phase of the project. We have to make a mess before we can make it beautiful. So you're kind of seeing it in progress. It's raw, but it's kind of the steps we take. And as we kind of go along, it gets cleaner and sharper and crisper as we go until we can get it to be a finished piece.